Ok banda, si può proseguire con tale Xillia 2, gameplay numero 36. Allora, cosa bisogna fare? Ecco lì, versa una rata del debito, io giustamente ho fatto grinding. Allora, devo dare 146.000. Ecco qua, faccio vedere che pago il debito, così voi testimoniate che ho pagato. Ok, vai, paghiamo questo debito. Spero sia l'ultimo perché non ce la faccio più. Vediamo un po', vediamo un po'. Ah, devo tornare adesso un'altra volta, vabbè. E torniamo un'altra volta. E torniamo lì un'altra volta. Allora, vediamo un po' per la Spirius Corporation. Perfetto, dai. Vediamo un po' dov'è. Vediamo un po' dov'è. Perché ecco qui, Spirius Corporation, ragazzi. Vai, possiamo andare. Vai, viaggiamo. Si viaggia. Eccoci qua. Vediamo un po' cosa bisogna fare adesso, dai. Ecco, vai, parliamo, ciccia. Proseguire con la storia, certo. Ho pagato, mi tocca proseguire, no? Capitolo 14, ragazzi.
Welcome back.
Hold your horses. Only authorized personnel past this point.
Vabbè, allora adesso stai tranquillo perché ho pagato.
You may be, but I am not. We are here to learn how to get into Canaan. That makes us authorized personnel.
Very well. If that's Vice President Kresnik's decision, I will abide by it.
Huh? Luger's been made Vice President of Spirius?
Correct. His promotion is effective immediately. You may use the CEO's office as you see fit, until he returns from his departure. This way.
Promoting Luger to vice president out of the
blue. Ok, vediamo un po' cosa bisogna fare. Devo raggiungere l'ufficio, vabbè, andiamo all'ufficio qui.
Before we jump to any conclusions, let's go get the whole.
The CEO has left you a message.
Luger, if you're watching this, know that I intend to travel to the land of Canaan and put an end to Origin's trial.
This'll be interesting.
But not before I tell you the full story. You see, it was all a game. The fractured dimensions, Canaan, all of it. Just a giant game, created by the primordial spirits. Kronos, Maxwell, and Origin.
That's right. And they've been playing it ever since humanity figured out Spyrix 2 millennia ago.
The three spirits disagreed over whether humans could truly control Spyrix technology or not. So they devised an experiment to reveal mankind's true nature. They wanted to see for themselves if human beings were capable of resisting the temptation of ultimate power.
This was before the schism, you see. Back in the old days when Maxwell still trusted humans.
So the Chromatus was a test?
Kronos granted the Chromatus to the Kresnik family as a means to measure how well humans can suppress their base desires. If someone reaches the Great Spirit Origin before 1 million divergence catalysts appear, mankind passes the test. If no one does, then mankind fails and the spirits leave. That was their pact.
But here's the catch. The game was rigged right from the very start.
As was passed down, Origin will grant the wish of the first human who comes before him. No human could resist such a prize. It fostered greed amongst the people. As a result, the Kresniks were constantly at war over it.
Thanks to all of their bickering, catalysts and fractured dimensions have multiplied like rats.
A vast number of people across all the dimensions transformed into catalysts, and as a result, were destroyed. It's likely now that their number is approaching 1 million.
The Spurious Corporation was established to put the brakes on this whole disaster.
I haven't forgotten the reward I promised. You no longer have to worry about that pesky loan. Now, just leave the rest to me. I will create the world that your generation deserves.
You're not gonna believe what just happened. The bank president stopped by just now, and guess what? He said that I don't need to bug you about your loan anymore.
What?
How'd you manage to pull that off? Wait, you're not blackmailing anybody, are you?
You verified the reward.
Bakor left for the land of Canaan, correct?
Yes.
He promised to tell us how to get inside.
I wasn't informed.
All right, if that's how you want to play it, then let me ask you this. How does he plan to make it past Kronos? The Chromatus came from Kronos. Bakor wouldn't be able to use it against him.
I don't know.
What happened to Elle?
Excuse me, I'm running late for a meeting.
You know, I'll bet you that the CEO is planning to use Elle to kill Kronos.
Director Rideau!
I believe our guest's business has concluded here.
We're not finished here.
Ok ragazzi, si può proseguire, allora fai un giro per la sede dell'azienda e facciamo sto giro, va, tanto almeno quello credo che non si paga. Almeno il debito non devo pagarlo più, a quanto pare, vediamo un po', ecco, non devo pagare più debiti in questo gioco, perché veramente che non ce la faccio più ragazzi a pagare i debiti a Tales of Xillia 2, cioè una cosa assurda. Oh oh, forziere, ragazzi, oh oh. Facciamo un giro per l'azienda sperando di trovare la strada per proseguire avanti. Allora, qui era l'ufficio, quindi vogliamo salire ragazzi? Vabbè, no, scendiamo, no, bisogna salire, siamo già in alto, quindi... Ah, ecco, ho trovato subito la strada. Oh 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 oh. Dove vado? Vado qui. E andiamo qui, vai.
Forgive me for my silly comments back there. How might I help the new vice president?
Oh oh, sempre con L1 ragazzi, sempre con L1.
Sorry, but I'm afraid that is top secret. Elle was the true key of Kresnik. Origin's power flows through the key. One only comes along every few generations, and the key is the trump card in the trial. As you can imagine, he or she is always at the center of Kresnik's family feuds. The most recent key was the CEO's wife till she was killed. Not that you have any relation to that one.
Oh 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 oh. Si fa interessante.
Precisely. The Prime Dimension's true key of Kresnik. Years ago, the CEO used his wife's power in a battle against Kronos. It cost her life. That didn't sit well with the eldest son. He fled the nest and started his own family, or so the story goes. To make a long story short, the only way to reach Origin is to defeat Kronos. And the only thing that will defeat Kronos is the power of the Void, which is wielded by the Key of Kresnik. Of course, the power needed to beat Kronos would immediately transform the key into a divergence catalyst, and that's the rub. Oh, please. Don't try to act so high and mighty. You had no qualms at all about using the girl's power willy-nilly.
Luger?
Damn you!
Ah, you must have heard more details from Rideau. He was only supposed to keep you occupied. I'm sorry for tricking you, but please understand. This sacrifice is necessary to make a world purely for humans.
Vabbè. Vediamo un po'.
Yes, you heard correctly. When I finally fulfill Origin's trial, I will wish for all spirits to surrender their will. They will become mankind's loyal tools.
What?
But do not worry. Their first task will be to eliminate all fractured dimensions.
Give me that! Luger, it's me.
Elle?
I'm gonna fix it all so you don't have to do scary stuff anymore. I'll use my wish to make sure nobody ever has to disappear again. Mr. Bakor says that only I have the power to do that. So don't come after us, okay? I'm fine, really. I know I broke our promise, so I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Elle!
I'm sorry. The GHS you are trying to reach is currently unavailable. Please try again.
Nothing to do now but leave things to the CEO, I suppose. If we go charging in, he'll just use us, just like he's going to use Elle.
Shut up!
Oh, ma si torna a giocare? Fai un giro per la sede dell'azienda, ancora. Devo ancora girare? Vabbè, giriamo e giriamo, va. Rifaccio qualche stanzetta qui, magari se è aggiunto qualche forziere. O magari bisogna trovare qualcuno con cui parlare qui intorno, chi lo sa. Chi lo sa. Vabbè, qui non c'è nessuno, si può cambiare. Possiamo continuare la nostra discesa verso il piano terra, Vediamo un po', ecco, anche qui non c'è nessuno, però entrerò qui per vedere se c'è qualche forziere, ecco. Ok, non c'è niente, via, posso andare. Anche qui c'è nessuno, vai, scendiamo, scendiamo. Sperando di trovare la strada, sperando di trovare la strada giusta, ecco. Ta 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 ta. Ok, l'unica stanza è qui. Vediamo un po' se c'è qualcosa da prendere. Olè, olè. Ok, anche qui non c'è niente. Ciao, vi saluto. Andiamo al pian terreno e vediamo se ci sarà qualcosa che di interessante, ecco, ora ve lo dico. Eccoci qui.
If you continue to resist, I'll call security.
We're not going anywhere until we hear the rest of the story.
Luger,
Did you find out anything?
turning spirits into tools. So that was Bakur's plan all along.
And to think he'd use a little girl like Elle.
Not if we can help it. Let's get to Canaan.
How do we get inside?
We must find Julius. He will know how.
We better hurry.
Oh, vediamo un po', vabbè, rispondo sempre con L1.
Luger?
By any chance, do you feel like you've already fulfilled your duty at this point?
Maybe.
Jude, he's done enough. Let's go.
What?
Luger doesn't need to risk his life for this world. Not anymore.
But what about Elle?
The girl pleaded with him not to come.
You can't. You two don't get it, do you? There's no way Elle meant what she said. You mean the world to that girl. You actually think she's okay with saying goodbye?
Jude. Very well. You should do whatever you think is best for Luger.
I'm gonna knock some sense into him first.
Security!
Don't interfere with this, please.
Oh, devo combattere?
Elle is waiting for you. Show me you have what it takes to save her.
Vabbè, combattiamo, dai. Combattiamo. Credo che sarà un incontro già prestabilito che si interromperà, ragazzi. Non credo che si volgerà al termine. Ma che fa? Non reagisci? Non reagisci, ciccio? Dai, così vince Brado, attenzione che Brado è sulla buona strada per vincere. E insomma, e là. Tra poco dovrò prendere un po' di energia, credo. Beh sì, è meglio che riprendo un po' di energia, va. Ecco qua, vai. Ma dai, Jude, basta, no? Vinco io e basta, cioè. Aia, aia. È andato leggero? È andato leggero, insomma. Oh, ora non vado leggero io però. Jude, te la sei cercata, te la sei cercata. Oh, vabbè, ho vinto, ragazzi, ho vinto. Ciao. E voilà. E salutiamo Jude, ragazzi,
How can you use the chromatis without Elle being here?
Come now. It should be obvious. She's calling to you. Still thinking of staying behind? Looks like we're done. Let's get to Canaan.
Of course you can come too.
Not a step further, Vice President Kresnik.
I know it sounds cliché and all, but orders are orders.
Move, Ivor. I don't have time for your games.
I'm afraid I cannot do that, Lady Mila.
I never realized bossy girls were such a turn-on. So cold, so ruthless, so...
What a creep.
Need assistance? Hope you don't mind.
Well, well, well. The royal pain has come to hold court. But my head will roll if I don't stop Luger from leaving. And I happen to like my head.
You think your corporate cronies can stop us? They dispelled my arts!
How is that possible?
It's the Lance of Kresnik. A portable version, sure, but as you can see, it gets the job done. This will be fun. I wonder if Lord Maxwell will moan as I suck the mana out of her.
Don't speak to her like that!
And how dare you speak to your boss like that? You'd risk your life to save this sniveling coward? You really are a benevolent deity.
He's still my handmaid. I don't recall ever dismissing him from the position.
Lady Mila. Such a stubborn and proud spirit. But not for much longer.
Any ideas, Luger?
You'll be tested here, in the underground training area. These caverns stretch all the way to Triglav city limits. You could head straight out of town from here.
Oh, 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 vediamo un po'.
Get to that elevator.
That's easier said than done.
We'll need bait.
You can show everyone else the way.
Vai, tocca a te, Jude, fai qualcosa di buono.
Leave it to me.
Don't die.
Not here, I won't.
It's clearly a diversion.
Look out! Go on ahead.
Don't let them get away.
Jude can handle himself. We need to stay focused on the escape.
Ok ragazzi, allora il gameplay numero 36 di Tales of Xillia 2 si può concludere qui senza problemi. Siamo andati veramente già oltre, ecco, se no poi magari qualcuno non seguirà neanche il gameplay se è troppo lungo, quindi ci sarà poco tempo. Allora, gameplay numero 36 di Tales of Xillia 2 concluso, ci sentiremo per i prossimi gameplay. Un saluto a tutti dal vostro Diablotex, ciao fenomeni!
Rock and roll!